Hi folks, it's me Hannah. Hey. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust the lighting here a little bit. So it looks like I'm recording early in the morning. Yeah. There. How to name change. One of the fantastic parts of transitioning is getting to choose a brand new name. Yeah, or not. I mean, name change is not a requirement. For example, I could have remained as Henry and not have changed my name to Hannah. Can you imagine? I'm at the airport as Henry, and then on the comms, there's an announcement calling me over to gate number 4, ticketing counter. Like, Henry Ju, please visit gate number 4, ticketing counter. Henry Ju, please visit gate number 4, ticketing counter. And then imagine I visit gate number 4, ticketing counter, and the ticketing agent would be like, hello, can I help you? And then I'll be like, you just called me? And they'll be like, I'm not seeing, what's your name? And I'll be like, Henry Ju. And they'll be like, may I see your ID, please? And I'd have to show them the ID.
Of course, I probably have to show them an ID anyways for them to verify that I'm indeed the person that they had paged on the comms.
And then they'd look at me and they'd look back at the ID and then they'd be like, okay, thank you, Henry. It's kind of, I guess it's okay. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments section below. I'd be curious to know. Of course, I changed my name to Hannah, so if I were paged on the comms, like, Hannah Ju, please visit gate number 4, ticketing counter. Hannah Ju, please visit gate number 4, ticketing counter. And then if I were to go and see the agent at gate number 4, ticketing counter, they'll be like, Hannah? Right? Because names are beautiful, lovely, ladylike name. And then I'm a beautiful, lovely lady. So, yeah. So, the very first step in doing the name change is finding the new name.
Yeah. If we're just keeping the old name, then what's the point of changing the name? Because the name would be the same. Thus, it would be name not change. Yeah, name same. Not name change.
So, I didn't really like my name as Henry because, one, every Henry that I had met had not had much luck with romance.
Well, I didn't meet King Henry, of course, but then I've heard stories about King Henry, and it didn't sound like he had much luck with romance either.
So, and I wasn't having much luck with romance either. So, I was like, all right, screw this Henry stuff. I'm going to pick a a more natural name, a more global name. I was Henry Salim Jew at the time, and I was like, all right. I had a list of requirements that I was taking up, and one of the requirements was I wanted to keep my the same initials, HSK. The second requirement was I wanted either my first or middle name to be a Muslim name, because my faith is Sufism, and my old name was Henry Salim Jew. I wanted either my first name or my middle name to be a Muslim name. And 3 was I wanted my name, my first name, to be a global name. So the name's not tied to any like the West or the East, or it's just global. I'm pretty mixed. As far as I know, at this time, I'm largely a mix of pretty much the entire Asian continent. And so, and maybe like there's like a question mark of genes as far as the origins of one of my ancestors, my great grandfather. His origins, I'm not so sure. So one of these days I might do the genetic, DNA test thingy, and I might find out through that. I changed my blouse. Blouse change. I'm wearing a skirt. Sheesh. So I found my new name, Henna. I like that name very much. The more I thought about the name, the more I was falling in love with it. And I was like, cool, I like this name. And my middle name, I selected Sunny because that's the name my mom had given me when I was born, and that's the name that she used to call me, Sunny, and she used to call me Sun.
Yeah, she used to call me Sun. Sun, what are you doing? Sun, this, Sun, that. And that would touch my heart really, really deep. Because I really love her. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm missing Mommy so much right now. Yep. I wish I had transitioned when I was younger so that I could have spent like mother-daughter moments with my mom. That would have been so cool. Yeah.
Okay, so the next step was to get the name Henna Salim Jew to become official and officially replace my old name, Henry Salim Jew. At least in my case, as a Californian American, and at least at the time, it wasn't a simple matter of changing the name at one place and that was it. It was like there were several places where I was going to have to change my name at. What I found was there were 2 general paths to getting my name officially changed. One path was to go through a law firm. I could just go there and let them know, hey, I'm changing my name to reflect my gender and my gender marker and stuff like that. And they could take care of the whole process. There could be a fee involved. That could be expensive, but well, that's an option. Yep. The other path was to do the name change myself. Which was what I did. I was like, okay, there's a ton of information out there on government websites. Like, for example, my beautiful state of California.
And of course, one of the reasons why California is beautiful is because Hannah is here. Yeah.
The website's got comprehensive, detailed, step-by-step information on how to perform a legal name change. And so I was like, okay, cool. That's the process. Shouldn't be too bad, right. And I'd get to know like the process from start to finish, and I'd be in touch, and I'd be aware of where I'm at every stage of my name change process from start to finish. And I like that, so I did that. Yeah.
So each state may be a little bit different, and at local level, each county might have a little different procedures and stuff. I'm not giving legal advice here. I'm simply mentioning what I did, how I did my name change. So it's kind of an idea, right? It's kind of an idea. If you're trying to get your name officially changed to reflect your gender identity, then you could probably be like, okay, Hannah did this, so that might be where it might be reasonable to start and stuff like that. So it's an informative video, but it's not a video of legal advice, right? Right.
So here's what I did. I sorted the steps out in in an orderly fashion. So it's like, okay, if this step requires the other item to complete first, then I could do the other item first, right? Right.
So prerequisites, what's required before?
Yeah, in doing so, I learned that the driver license, the gender marker on the driver license, had no prerequisites. So I was like, sweet. I went to the Department of Motor Vehicles, and I went ahead and changed the gender marker on my driver license, and from male to female, and I was able to get a new driver license with an updated photograph of me with my gender marker as female. The name was still Henry, but the gender marker was female. And so I was like, cool, that's a prerequisite that I'm kind of in the door now, right? So that was the very first thing I did in terms of getting my name changed, which included updating my gender information. So basically, select new name, get code order, social security card, driver license, a birth certificate and or naturalization certificate, and passport. Right. So for things like updating the name and gender on bank accounts, on membership accounts and stuff, frequent traveler memberships and stuff, that can be done as soon as the new driver license and or ID has been received. So in my case, I was able to get my memberships and my accounts updated, my private accounts updated as soon as I received my new driver license. So yeah, a lot of those places, they were only asking for a scanned copy of scanned and or fax copy of the decree of name change and of the driver license and or ID. Laters. Related links in the description section below.